Okay, I'm so excited about this conversation. This is an interview with my girl Tinzley Bradford for her new publication, Bold Favor Magazine. This is Abiola Abrams, and I'm recording this interview from my hotel room in London. I just landed a couple of hours ago, and I'm getting these questions done for the fabulous Love Mama, aka Tinzley Bradford. Okay, so I will read the answers and then I'll read the questions and then give my answers. Sorry, I'm a little loopy. I just got off a plane a couple hours ago. Okay, so Tinzley asks, hello, Abiola. We're just ecstatic about this interview with you. You're what I refer to as a queen who wears many hats, and you wear them well. Thank you. Tell us how you got started with your coaching and speaking profession. I got started as a coach and a speaker really by working in television first. As a television broadcaster, I was often giving interviews, and I wasn't a big-time broadcaster, but a small-time broadcaster doing hosting on smaller TV shows. People would ask me for my advice, and I was giving advice. I was being asked to speak and invited to speak in different schools and universities, and so I decided to get my coaching certification. Okay, next question. Your most recent book, The Sacred Bombshell Handbook of Self-Love, was the winner for Best Self-Help. Yep, 2014. And you were up against some of the industry's finest, T.D. Jakes, Ian LeVincent, Russell Simmons, to name a few. I think that's amazing. Tell us more about your book. Well, thank you, Tinzley. It was absolutely an honor, really, to be just nominated in that category. But to win was a beautiful and unexpected surprise. The Sacred Bombshell Handbook of Self-Love is the self-love guide that I always wished existed. While I was working with my clients, I wanted them to have a baseline textbook that would help them to learn tactics, techniques, and methods of self-love, self-care, and how to get out of their own way. That's what the book is. The Sacred Bombshell Handbook of Self-Love is about how to stop playing small and really step into your power as a woman. Okay, let's see. Next question. What have been some of your greatest accomplishments? I know there are many, but which ones have stood out the most? It definitely was a huge accomplishment to win Best Self-Help at the African American Literary Awards against so many people that I admire. That was an extreme accomplishment. I also count other accomplishments as really big, like, little things that you would never see on my website or resume, but the celebrations of my clients I count as celebrations, so as accomplishments. So, for example, everything you've accomplished, Tinzley, and right now I'm in London to support the launch of one of my clients. Sadia Sisse is launching Being You, her lingerie brand made by women of color for women of color, and I'm so proud of her. I'm very involved in the launch. So those for me are very big accomplishments. One of the things that has been an unexpected surprise and a huge accomplishment is the success of my Goddess Affirmation card decks. I first created the African Goddess Affirmation cards because I wanted cards that were positive and that looked like us. And the response has been so huge. I created a second deck, the Womanifesting Fertility Goddess Affirmation cards. And then I have another deck that's going to be coming out this year because the cards have been such a success. In addition to my meditation albums and my e-courses, I consider all of those to be great accomplishments. Okay, the next question says, I looked at your site and I must say you are beyond a triple threat. How does it feel to be living your dream? It feels really amazing, and I'm learning more and more every day that that we always think there's a place where you feel like I made it, and we're constantly making it every day because it's about reinventing the wheel. It's about being the best that we can every day, no matter who we are. So I never feel like I'm sitting and rest on my laurels and say, okay, I'm done. But it does feel wonderful to be living my dream. Next question. How do you handle the critics? I'm sure that you can agree that with fame comes the haters. Have you experienced jealousy firsthand from friends and or family? I have experienced a lot of hateration from folks that I don't know. But I have to be honest with you. Any haters that are close to me in terms of ex-friends or family, I am swift with the cutoff. I have no room in my life for any of that. Before, I was very much a people pleaser and tried to justify things. I had a male family member call me a bitch only because I was on a TV show. Never did anything to him in my life. But he suddenly started yelling at me at a family event, telling me, you think you're all that, you're a bitch, blah, 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 blah. Again, I've never had beef with him before in my life. Very close family member. And for years, I shut him down, cut him off, never spoke to him again. I only recently forgave him. And it was interesting because the day after I forgave him, the day after I made a clear decision that I heard from God that I needed to forgive him, he had a hospital procedure. So, hospital emergency. So it's very interesting. And in terms of friends, the same thing. They quickly became ex-friends. So the beautiful thing is I have incredible people in my life, friends and family, who are very supportive, who are rooting for me, and I'm rooting for them as well. Okay. Next question. I write about settle-free dating. Yes, which means pretty much you aren't settling for any old mediocre relationship. Are you currently in a relationship? If so, what are your views on not settling for less? How can one avoid ending up in a dead-end toxic relationship? Ooh, I was just talking about this yesterday on Karen Hunter's Sirius XM radio show. And I was saying that if you're in a bad relationship with someone else, it's because you're in a bad relationship with yourself. And so the best way to avoid ending up in a dead-end toxic relationship is to take care of yourself, to know what you deserve. We hear so many voices as women telling us that we're less than, especially as Black women, and that, basically that we're unlovable. So many voices in so many different ways. Those are not the voices to listen to. Listen to the strong voice inside you that says to you, you are worthy. You are worthy of being loved, honored, cherished, and deserved. And if somebody's not trying to step to you with that kind of energy, they ain't your peeps. All right. What do I want my legacy to be? I want my legacy to be, me leaving behind motivational, inspirational, and transformational tools that make women live their best lives. And I want people to be like, wow, okay, she inspired me to live my dreams. She inspired me to step into my greatness. She inspired me to stop playing, stop fooling myself that I'm smaller than I am and really rise up to the greatness of my dreams. All right. Next question. Do you mentor children, teens, and young adults? Do you have any children of your own, or plans on starting a family someday? Actually, I don't have any children yet, but I have just decided recently that this year, about a year from now, this year, that I am going to adopt. So I see myself either having one or two little girls that I adopt, and I'm really excited about that. I am a mentor to people of all ages, but specifically in terms of working professionally with teens and young adults. I used to, but I got very specific in the past couple of years about who I serve directly. So I do a lot of speaking with young adults in terms of at colleges and universities and occasionally at high schools. And actually, no, I've spoken at middle schools. So I would say that whenever I am working with young people, it's usually in an educational environment. And I love it. I love it. It really, really makes me so beyond happy. Okay. Have you ever just wanted to quit? What keeps you going in a business where there's so much competition? Have any of your friends ever turned on you while in the business? I think in a previous question, we talked about friends and family, and I've definitely had, a couple of those situations which were surprising and made me really sad because, when I have a friend and I love them, I'm all in. And so it has made me sad when friendships have come to an end, but you have to do what's right for your own mental health and well-being. And have I ever wanted to quit? Yeah, absolutely. I think if we're human, sometimes when things didn't seem like they were working, or when I went back into the lab to revamp things, I did feel like, okay, maybe I should quit this. But I'm so glad now that I didn't, because now I figured out how to live my dreams and also make money at the same time. And so, a lot of times when we are spiritual teachers in a way, and I consider myself to be both a spiritual student and a spiritual teacher, we feel like talking about money, it's a taboo topic to talk about. But one of the things that I've been focusing on with my coaching clients right now from the beginning is helping them to bring in money faster, helping them to serve their clients and their audience, but helping them also to have the abundance to support themselves. So then they're feeling less likely that they want to quit because they're answering their calling, but then they're also calling in their own wealth and abundance. And what keeps me going in a business where there's so much competition? I don't really see competition. I think that we each have our own lane. Even if we're doing the exact same thing, we each have our own lane. So it's like if you look at why are there so many doctors or why are there so many lawyers? It's because we need all of them. And so the same thing with coaches. So while there may be a million people, coaching what I coach, they can't do it in the same way that I do. And so my spiritpreneur sisters and my sacred bombshells are going to come to me, or maybe they're going to go to different people for different reasons. And if they're not for me, then they'll move on and go to somebody else. And I want them to find who's right for them. But you really have to approach business from that point of view. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself crazy wondering, trying to compete with people, when if you're really authentic to yourself and you really specify who your audience is, there is no competition. All right. Next question. On a scale of 1 to 100%, what percent of people would you say are dealing with self-confidence issues? Oh, what can you suggest a person do to start feeling better about life's adversities and themselves? I would say a lot of people are dealing with self-confidence issues, probably a full 75%. I know that's a big number, but I think that, it ranges from little self-confidence issues, to where somebody maybe doesn't want to speak up to their boss, or they're afraid to ask for a raise, or they feel like, well, why is the guy behind me making more and we're doing the same job? Or they're afraid to have a conversation with their partner, or they think somebody is cheating on them or doing them wrong, and, they don't have the courage and confidence to step up. Or they don't have the confidence to live their dreams and say, here's who I am. A lot of people, have written to me through my Essence column, over the years, and said, for example, that they feel like, that they know that they're gay and they're afraid to come out to their family. And all of those are varying levels of self-esteem and self-confidence issues. And I've had self-confidence issues like everybody else in my life. I have anxiety sometimes, when it comes to certain things. But what you have to do is you have to build yourself up to where for a fact that you are in the exact right lane and that you are on the right path. So one of the things that I would suggest to do if you have issues and challenges to start to feel better about yourself, one of the things that you can do is make a list of everything that is amazing about you. Another thing is cut off all of the people in your life who are negative towards you. If you're already feeling bad about yourself, you don't need people reflecting that back. Start to hang around with new people who are positive, and have good thoughts about you and about themselves. The third thing is stop asking for acceptance for people to accept you who don't accept themselves. Stop asking for people to believe in you who don't believe in themselves. That's something that we do a lot. And the fourth thing is start doing different self-care practices, like my goddess affirmation cards that I mentioned, or meditation albums, or books like mine, or the other books that were nominated for the African Literary Awards. Those kinds of books and things reinforce who you are, who you feeling comfortable in who you are. All right, next question. Do you coach suicide survivors? How easy or hard is it to connect with a person who, for whatever reasons, wanted to end their life? You mentioned you are a lot on your site. What? You mentioned you are enough. Yes, I do. A lot on your site. How do you make people truly believe that? Many people don't feel they are good enough due to past failures. I don't coach suicide survivors. There was a time when I did. But like I said, now I'm very specific about who I work with, and I work with what I call big vision women in leadership. Some of them just happen to be suicide survivors, but that wouldn't be specifically why they are coming to me. Oftentimes, if people are having challenges with wanting to end their lives or suicidal ideation, I direct them more to therapists. I recommend often cognitive behavioral therapy. I know some people have had success with that. Let's see. I mentioned you are enough. Yes, that is one of my favorite affirmations. So if you are reading this, affirm it for yourself. I am enough. And it's important because so many of us think that we're not enough. How do I make people believe that? See, now that's a fallacy about coaching. I don't make you believe anything. I work with you for you to make yourself believe what you believe. It is not the coach's job to convince you that you're a wonderful person at all. It's a coach's job to help you to get out of your way and help you to find new tactics and techniques and strategies to move the obstacles that you perceive to be blocking you from your success and blocking you from your path. So that is what a coach does. I use different techniques. One of them that I really, really love is emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, similar to acupressure, but it's similar to acupuncture, but it's acupressure. And people can find that on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/planetabiola, and search for EFT and videos will come up. Let's see, you've hosted a few popular shows on popular networks from BET to MTV. I personally remember you from MTV's show Made. How was that experience? That experience was awesome. I got to work with a young man named Austin on his courage and his confidence, and him, being able to have more confidence with young women. And, it was a really, really great experience. It was in Atlanta. We filmed down there. We went down there for, I want to say 6 weeks, but I don't remember what the time period was. And it was a positive experience. Let's see. Next question. Oh, and I want to add to that. One of the things that I eventually want to do is write a young people's version, a young women's version of the Sacred Bombshell Handbook of Self-Love, a self-love handbook for young women. And it's one of those things that I could do really easily because I already have the content. It's just, maybe I need to have one of my assistants start to assemble it for me. I wrote a really meaningful advice column for years for girl.com, GURL, and I would compile my advice columns. I'm thinking about it as I'm saying it, and put it together in a book for young women because it's very important to me that we take care of our youth and let them know that they are enough. All right. Next question. If someone reading this article wanted to start doing what you're doing today, what are your top 5 tips for them to get started? Do you recommend a coach for beginners? Absolutely. The first thing I would say is if you want to be a coach, work with a coach, because then you will start to see how it works, how the relationship works, what it's about. And if you're expecting people to invest in your services and you don't invest in yourself, then you're not really going to have the courage to put yourself out there. So definitely work with a coach. You should also, either take some classes or work with a coach in your specific area. So if you're a health coach, in addition to working with a business coach to help you build your business, I recommend that you work with another health coach so that you can be able to just get more specific about what it is that you are doing, what you're offering. Number 2 thing that I would say when getting started is be very specific about your business structure. A lot of coaches just jump in and don't have a business structure or strategy in place. So be very clear about your business structure. Be very clear about who you are, what makes you unique in the marketplace, and be very clear about who you serve, who your ideal clients are. Another thing is, if you are a coach, I would say make sure that you build passive income streams, money that makes money when you're sleeping, so that everything is not dependent on you working one-on-one with your clients. One of the new things that I'm doing in my womanifestinguniversity.com is I'm going to have a bunch of spiritpreneur guidebooks. Those will be available in about 2 weeks. And there are all kinds of things like Life Coach in a Box program, where beginning coaches can buy everything they need to set up their business. All kinds of things that are guaranteed. Well, legally, we can't say guaranteed, but guaranteed to have you thinking about how to make money. And if you use them right away and put them to work, can help you to start bringing in more income and serving more people, more clients as a coach. All right. Let's see. It has been a pleasure speaking with you. Yay. And thanks for taking the time to let us into your world. Where can people find you to connect and stay in touch? How can people connect with you? Well, I have a free gift for your audience. Is a free gift for women. It's my new meditation album called Chakras on Fleek. Go to chakrasonfleek.com, put in the password Life Loves Me, all in caps, and you'll be able to access that meditation album. And I have a few exciting things coming up I want to share. I have the Abundance Pray Love Retreat going to Bali, Indonesia. You can learn about that at abundancepraylove.com. I have Womanifesting University at womanifestinguniversity.com. I have the monthly support group at manifestyourmagic.com. That's a monthly support group for women. And then I have the upcoming Business Sisterhood, which I recommend anybody who is trying to build a coaching business or anything similar. You definitely want to join this. It's called Spiritpreneur Warrior Business Sisterhood. And you can find it at manifestyourbusiness.com. Manifestyourbusiness.com. Oh, and last link for you. If you are interested in my affirmation cards, my books, my courses, or my meditation albums, just go to shop.sacredbombshell.com. shop.sacredbombshell.com. And you can find me throughout social media at Abiola TV, where the TV stands for transformation and victory. Thank you. Okay, I'm so excited about this conversation. This is an interview with my girl Tinzley Bradford for her new publication, Bold